Hello and welcome to Alive News. I'm Khadija Ibrahim. Here are three of today's major stories making the headlines. The battle for PDP chairmanship heats up ahead of 2027. States clash with electricity discos as power cuts begin nationwide. The police uncover a fake kidnap plot staged by two sisters and a couple in Abuja. Now let's bring you the full rundown of today's top stories. A political showdown is brewing as the race for the chairmanship of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, intensifies ahead of the 2027 general elections. Prominent figures including Professor Jerry Gana, former acting PDP chairman Abubakar Baraji, and former governor of Kaduna State, Ahmad Makarfi, are said to be in a neck-and-neck contest to lead the opposition party. Reports indicate that the PDP's National Executive Committee remains divided over the fate of the current acting chairman, Umar Damagum. Meanwhile, key party stakeholders are said to be plotting various political maneuvers. Notably, former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike is reportedly mobilizing support for a counterfaction as the drama around the upcoming PDP convention unfolds. This internal wrangling comes as the party aims to position itself strongly ahead of what is expected to be a fiercely contested 2027 presidential election. Political watchers are keeping a close eye on how this leadership contest could shape the future of the PDP. Tension is rising across the power sector as several Nigerian states have begun experiencing power cuts due to a lingering disagreement with electricity distribution companies, known as DISCOs, over new electricity tariffs. According to reports, some states are openly resisting the implementation of increased tariffs, arguing that the hike is both unjustified and unsustainable for the average citizen. In response, discos have allegedly begun load shedding in non-compliant areas, sparking public outrage and political confrontation. State governments have vowed not to back down, demanding a total review of the tariff system and accusing the discos of using blackouts as a weapon of economic sabotage. Power consumers are caught in the crossfire, with many experiencing long hours of outages amid ongoing inflation and fuel price hikes. The federal government is being urged to intervene decisively to resolve the tariff impasse and prevent a nationwide power crisis. In a bold move to address accountability in Nigeria's construction sector, the Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria, COBON, has called for the immediate arrest and prosecution of certain individuals acting as site engineers in Abia State, following a recent building collapse. According to COBON, the individuals overseeing construction on the collapsed site were not qualified engineers or registered builders. The council stressed that the unregulated presence of quacks on construction sites continues to endanger lives and infrastructure integrity. They urged the government to strengthen enforcement of the building code and empower regulatory bodies to conduct on-site audits and verifications. The tragic incident has reignited debates around professional certification, regulation, and the need to sanitize Nigeria's construction industry before more lives are lost. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode, has announced plans to decorate select officers of the Nigerian police force who have distinguished themselves in service with new ranks. The IG made this known during a press briefing at the force headquarters in Abuja. The awardees were recognized for exceptional bravery, investigative breakthroughs, and exemplary public service across various commands in the country. The IG emphasized that the initiative is part of broader reforms aimed at boosting morale within the force and encouraging excellence. He also reiterated his administration's commitment to professionalism, discipline, and merit-based promotions within the police system. According to him, recognizing hard work is essential to fostering a motivated and efficient security force in Nigeria. In a proactive effort to enhance vehicle safety awareness, Veritas Capital Assurance has announced a partnership with a popular Nigerian auto expo. The collaboration is aimed at promoting safer driving practices and vehicle maintenance among car owners and enthusiasts. According to Veritas Capital, the initiative will feature safety demonstrations, free vehicle diagnostic sessions, and educational workshops at the car show. The firm said this aligns with its commitment to not just ensuring lives and property, but also to preventing the risks that lead to claims in the first place. Stakeholders in the automobile industry have hailed the partnership as a timely intervention, especially as road accident statistics continue to rise across Nigeria. Veritas hopes the campaign will influence behavioral change and reduce accident rates on Nigerian roads. In a rather unusual case, the police in Abuja have arrested two sisters and a couple for allegedly staging a fake kidnapping. According to police spokesperson, the suspect had orchestrated the abduction in a bid to extort money from their family and friends through a fabricated ransom demand. The police revealed that intelligence-led investigation led to the unraveling of the plot within hours of the report being filed. The suspect reportedly confessed to the act, citing financial desperation as their motive. Authorities have warned against such criminal stunts, emphasizing that law enforcement will not take such breaches lightly. The Inspector General has also called for stiffer penalties for individuals who waste police resources and exploit the trauma of kidnapping, which remains a real and painful issue for many Nigerian families. In the United States, President Donald Trump has found himself in an unusual spotlight. This time, it's not about politics directly, but rather pop culture. Trump has been publicly commenting on Hollywood actress Sydney Sweeney and the clothing brand American Eagle, sparking confusion and speculation online. Critics argue the remarks may be a distraction tactic, while some analysts suggest he's attempting to tap into culture war narratives ahead of the next US election cycle. As reactions pour in, political observers are trying to decode whether this is calculated messaging or simply another unpredictable moment in Trump's media playbook. Meanwhile, global attention is on an international summit where representatives from dozens of countries are meeting to negotiate a legally binding treaty on plastic pollution. The focus is on cutting back single-use plastics, encouraging eco-friendly alternatives, and holding corporations accountable for their role in environmental degradation. With plastic waste polluting oceans, harming wildlife, and infiltrating food systems, environmentalists see this moment as a possible turning point. But industry lobbying and geopolitical tensions remain major hurdles to meaningful, enforceable change. In a deeply emotional feature, the BBC has brought renewed attention to Korean survivors of the Hiroshima atomic bombing, many of whom have been historically overlooked. Known as hibakusha, these individuals were Korean laborers brought to Japan under colonial rule during World War II. They lived through the devastating nuclear explosion in 1945 and decades later still carry both physical and emotional scars. The story sheds new light on the intersection of war trauma and colonial injustice and aims to preserve these voices before they're lost to history. And that wraps up the top stories today on Alive News. I'm Khadija Ibrahim, and this is Alive TV.